Hello, we're back in the rehearsal studio. I'm gonna show you what I've done, like this fabric for example. But we're here today to talk about your Lord and Savior, Reaper. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do a couple of things. I got some cables with me that we're gonna install, and after that we'll do something else. And Neve is with me. Okay, so I just put in some rack spacers or rack blinders. Still, bottom the stage box is going, or whatever you want to call it. PSU, two blinders for future compressors or whatever. API is still, maybe it's staying, maybe it will go. We'll see when I get to record here. The DM5 is staying. I've asked Eric to borrow it and he was okay with that, so now we have a kick trigger for playback. The open space is still for the ferrofish, so we get 16 more inputs and outputs. Half the height blinder, just so we can run some wires to the army on the channels 9 and 10, because those only have outputs on the or inputs on the front and none on the back, while channel 1 to 8 has inputs and outputs on the back. And the other side hasn't changed. Still PC, two rack spacers for future gear, the hi-fi unit. I soldered some temporary cables so that we can record as soon as possible the other band, Eldfärd. We're gonna record drums with them very soon. That's why I'm here connecting everything up today. So I've soldered 18 channels, 18 connectors, and I'm gonna run all of them through the desk, and only the desk this time, because I want to see how it sounds and how well the EQ holds up. But first of all, this is the desk right now. Console, and I have my coffee mug on it, which I said I wouldn't have. But we installed this. It's just molten fabric, stage fabric, but it does make it look a little bit nicer. The back wall is still just bare plaster wall, maybe? No, I don't remember. But we're gonna make that a lot more beautiful in the future. The console is on. We have run some channels, or we have run 2 channels, so we know at least those are working. But sound is coming out of it. The NS40s are connected, the Frankenstein NS40s. The mid tweeters broke on mine, so I installed some others. And a friend of mine got NS10s, but he needed the woofers, so I sent mine to him since I'm not using these as much. And the mid tweeter is like impossible to find. And yes, that's penises on the monitor. They're actually whistles. So yeah. And yeah, we have enough space to go in and out without having to move the console. It's actually almost more space now than it was, and the console isn't even pushed right against the wall either. So we do have a lot of space, and I can even push it a little bit further towards the wall, the side wall, so that's not a problem. Oh yeah, I did the first channels on the stage box, or I did all the channels on the stage box, so we have, no we don't, I'm lying. If I remember correctly, it's 9 channels on the stage box that's connected right now. The cables are just temporary so we can do the drum recording, but then I'm getting other connectors and I have to redo it all. Not looking forward to that, but it's gonna be nice to have every channel connected, both the inputs and outputs. So let's connect some cables. was gonna pull the cables, two cables out from there and into the RME, but it's a little bit too short, so I thought, just why mess about when I can just connect them into the Ferrofish when it's there. But two things I realized pretty fast was, first of all, I can have the mouse, since I'm using a trackball in here, I can have the mouse and the keyboard on top of the console, because this one, I think it's hard to see it, but it's a little bit too clunky and it's in the way. Maybe later, or maybe when we're actually recorded, I'll use the tiny desk, but right now this is working out pretty good. And the second thing, which is a pretty big thing, is that even though these casters are made to hold 300 kilograms, I mean, two of them do pretty well. That one is pretty much at the bottom. I can move it a little bit, but it's really hard. I could probably just remount them a little bit further down, so it has a little bit more space or more height to work with, but I can see that they're not really holding up very well. So Neve is checking out the gear. So I'm gonna have to buy new ones. That I found some that holds 400 kilograms and looks a bit more sturdy, so I'm gonna have to buy those. Hopefully, if they aren't broken, I can probably reuse these for something else sometime later. But yeah, so that's two things that I noticed pretty quickly. But I have connected the first 8 channels, and the first 9 channels on the console are going to the little stage box. It's pretty short. I can't put it like right beside the drums, but that's enough for the cables I have. But I'm gonna order more and build some longer, like 10-meter cables. But that is later, after this recording. I'm gonna see if I can find something else to do, except maybe try out some microphones or try out some channels to see if it works. I'm also gonna have to make a cable or 2 cables for 2 outputs that I can use for playback when we record the drums, because I want to run it through the desk so that I can give Eric live drums straight from the desk without any latency. So I'm gonna have to do that at home and try to find some. I'll probably just do a couple of unbalanced wires for now. Yeah, so I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, and I almost forgot. I prepared the board. So kick, snare, tone, blah 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 blah. I've zeroed out the EQ on all the channels and just prepared the board for the recording. And a little rant. Console tape. It's so hard to find really good console tape. I'm hoping this is pretty good. I just bought it from Amazon. I hope it's good. Time will tell, but it feels pretty good. It was pretty cheap. The console is gonna be laid out in a way that the first 20 channels, that's all the channels on the left side, are going through that stage box, or whatever you want to call it. Then I'll have another 6 channels here on this side, and that's the channels that's going through that little XLR stage box or patch, whatever you want to call it. And the rest of the channels are going to be the outputs, so I can put like drums on 2930, bass, rhythm guitars, lead guitars, vocals, yeah, on all of those, because that makes it so easy for me to, well, pull it up, but also send whatever they need to hear, or in this first case Eric need to hear. So I only need to care about aux 1. That's how we're sending the outputs to that one, and then 2 cables from the output over to his drum seat, where he already has one of Neve is ready to go home, one of these, which is just a simple headphone amplifier. That's it for this time. I'm gonna turn everything off and go home. Är du redo att gå hem nu? Ska vi gå hem? He's ready. Yo, I'm back. I'm waiting for the A store to open so I can go and get some some stuff, and I brought a bunch of stuff, and so I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff, and then I'm gonna go home, pick up Neve, and come back and do a lot more stuff. This week is preparation for drum recording. I actually might build today the ladder for the upper part of the storage area, simply because there's a lot of stuff down here and I want to clear it out so that we can put the stuff we're actually using when we're recording there. So I'm gonna drink my coffee, do a couple of things, and then I'll get going, and then I'll start working. Yo. Okay, what I did first was just to put one of the headphone hangers there, because the Olos are gonna stay here. I'm gonna use them in this room, because then I know that what I hear in the Olos is pretty much the same that I hear when I get home to mix. Brought a bunch of stuff, and I need to brought these since we're recording, and I'm not 100% sure we'll have enough mics for every cymbal, so I brought the trusty old 12 gauge microphones. And I haven't shown you this. I got a new mic, the Sennheiser MD441 U3. So this one is without the low cut switch, but it does have the high boost, but it only boosts like 2 decibels. I bought this because it needed repair. It didn't work. I fixed it and now it's mine. So that's gonna be the snare mic for this recording. I did a bunch of cables, so we're gonna pull out the console and connect a few of those. And I am going to a store, to buy some rope that I'm gonna tie across here somehow, I don't know yet, so that we have these steel wires going across, but I need a wire going straight across the drum set so that I can hang microphones directly from the ceiling, or the fake ceiling, for a pretty high up overhead pair. I think that's gonna be pretty awesome. I mean, I'm gonna hang them down a little bit, but I'm gonna try to have them as high as possible. So that's on today's agenda as well. And I'm also going to try, maybe not today, but I'm gonna try a bunch of mics. When me and Neve comes back in a few hours, I'm gonna bring the Ferrofish. I just finished the last mix yesterday, so now I know that I can bring the Ferrofish. That's the AD-DA converter. It gives me 16 more channels. So I'm gonna mount that in rack, and then we're simply just gonna test all the channels, make sure they're working, make sure every EQ or every potentiometer is scratch free, or at least as close as possible, and that every channel is working. And then I'm gonna see if Eric can come here pretty soon, just to reset his kit, so we can get the kick pad in there, because if he does that, we're gonna record drums on Thursday night. So if he comes and sets up the kit just the way he likes it and the way it's gonna be, then I can come here during the day to tune the drums, try out different microphones to make sure we have the absolute best sound we can. And so when he comes here on Thursday night, I am more or less ready to start recording. Now I think the store is open. It's opening in 2 minutes, so I'm gonna drink the rest of my coffee and go to the store and buy rope and a box and some other stuff. I'll see you when I get back. Bye. Hello. Got the rope. Got it up there. It's blue and I hate it, but hopefully I can make it not as visible with the cables. But yeah, I can probably... Oh yeah, I got. I'm listening to some El Ferd stuff we're recording. I also brought this from home. It's just, what's it called? Velcro? I guess that's the name brand. But yeah, double-sided Velcro. It's so much better than cat stranglers, as we call them, or zip ties. Simply because if we have to change something, which we will, Velcro is so much easier. So I guess... yeah, next up is actually hanging or see if I have cables that's long enough to hang them nicely. Shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, let's do a time lapse. We're back. The battery died and I wanted to get home to Little Neve. So I went and got some stuff and did everything else I was supposed to do. So I'm actually, yeah, I'm gonna build the ladder now, so I can clean this place up so we get some floor space, because there is a lot of shit. So let's do that. Okay, so the stairs are done, built. I'm gonna paint them later. And for the next time, I mean, these boards were very far from straight, so it's a little bit wonky, but it works. And that's the important part. So now we're gonna clean up this space before we do anything else. I have brought the Ferrofish. I have brought the cables, the power cables I need for the Ferrofish. I have brought a lamp, which I thought maybe I could put like there or on the edge there or something, but I had apparently changed it out to one of these connectors, which are for lights, or yeah, like ceiling lights and stuff. So I need to take it back home, or just bring, I can just bring a different connector. So next up, clean up here first, then start taking up all the other shit. So loud music and cleaning. Oh yeah, and I have to clean up here, out here as well, of course. It's not too bad, but can't leave it like this. So clean here first, then clean up there. Yeah. So what have we done so far? We have got a lot of stuff up there that was down here. There's still a bunch of stuff. I added another shelf for my small parts and a shelf for the other stuff. I still have my huge pile of tools, and I have a shitload of stuff on top of the console, which I don't like, because now the Ferrofish is connected and it seems to be maybe working. It looks like it's working, and I changed out a panel here for a half rack, so I can put when I bring the hard drive, I can put the hard drive there. Haven't done anything here yet. What I'm going to do after I've cleaned up the console is to try out those two microphones that's hanging from the ceiling, just to see if I can get it to work, which shouldn't be a problem, but you never know. So I got the Elfard session. Oh yeah, and my wireless keyboard decided to just die. I brought new batteries because I thought it was just the batteries, but it actually died. So that's not very pretty, but he is. Hey! But it works for now, so I need to get one of those. I put this desk here instead for now, and I put some stuff here, more stuff just going away. Yeah, the console is on, so I should probably just go clean this up and test some mics. Boy, yo. So I recorded, or I hunted some ghosts. Idiot me put the outputs on the cables on the return instead of the send on some of the channels. So it took a little while to get everything going, but now I have recorded a pair of overheads with the modified Octava MK012. I'm gonna try the line audio now, and then I'm gonna try the rest of the channels. So there's something weird going on channel 7, so I'm gonna take a microphone and just check each channel to see what happens. Channel 7 was the connector that was going into the RME was or is fairly bad. The connectors on that side are low quality shit connectors. Everything is getting changed out in about 2 weeks, but I got it working. And I've tried all the channels, so it wasn't the console, it was just a bad connector. Everything is working from the stage box, everything is working here and on the console. So I have the 18 channels that's gonna go through the console, so 18 mics there. And then I'm going to have the room mics that's up on the wall. They are going to channel 9 and 10 on the RME, because I want to try to see if I can hear some changes, some difference between the RME and the console. I also didn't have 20 connectors, TRS connectors, so I just used the 18 I had. So 20 channels is what we're gonna use on these two singles. Yeah, I also tried and compared the line audio mics compared to the Octava, and I don't know which ones I like the most. The line audio sounds a little bit more open, while the Octava sounds a little bit more compressed. Both sound really good, but I'm leaning towards a more open sound. But since this little guy is super tired of being here, and I don't blame him, I'm probably gonna actually just leave it there. Yeah, I tried out all the channels, I know they work, and if channel 7 is being a bitch, I know how to fix it. Or I could even, I think I had one spare channel, so I could just say fuck off to channel 7 and use all the other ones. Eric is coming here someday or night. We're gonna take the kick drums out of this room and put the kick pad in place. And when he's done that, I can and we'll start tuning the drums and start testing like the microphones, and we're gonna move the kit a little bit to the right side from where I'm sitting because they aren't in the middle of the room. I'm just gonna mark up the new tape, and after that me and Neve is going home because I need food too. Take care and bye bye. I will see you tomorrow.